This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we're talking about me content, YouTube, and we're fully into wedding planning. Kill me now. 3, 2, 1. The ambassador will see you now.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Ambassador Tom Hall.
That's a very strange introduction. No one was expecting that one. I think some of the ones they think for you, that's really normal for you. And then I was just like, that's a really odd one.
You weren't expecting it, so yeah. It's fine.
Not at all. No, it sounded really strange actually when you said it. It was like a bit odd. Like the start of a bad film. Why were you seeing Ambassadors, Tom?
I literally was in. It is 5:35 here. It's a bit late for Dan. We normally podcast 2 hours before this. Apologies, my fault. Not really my fault, but Honduras's fault. This won't go back to the ambassador. I don't think he's gonna listen. But yeah, I got called in, just like head teacher, basically. Head teacher got called into the ambassador's office in Honduras because I'm traveling there on Thursday. But they were being mean to me because they were not letting me get my visa until next week. And then, unfortunately, we contacted some movers and shakers in the old Honduras, and then miraculously, I got an email yesterday saying that I could come in and get my visa today. So, but on the requirement, I went there, and the ambassador was like, the lad was like, the ambassador would like to meet you. I was like, everybody likes to meet me.
Yeah. The thing is with that time, it kind of sounds impressive, but I can't imagine there's that many people that want to travel to Honduras. So it's kind of like maybe it was more of a case of like you were the only one trying to get.
It was full. So like, there were 6 people in the waiting room, and another person joined. So they were like,
6.
We're so busy.
That's what I mean. Is I think the ambassador doesn't see many people. That's my point. Is I think they're the 6 people that just picked you out and went, oh, he looks good. No, let's pick him out. He's got a hat on.
He had a hat on. I was very polite. Took my hat off when I went into his office, as you should, chaps. I don't like when guys have their hats on inside restaurants when they're eating, when they're inside generally, but in their own home, fine. But yeah, that's a very golf clubby thing, isn't it? Yeah. I don't do it. Don't like it.
That's really that's proper youth.
I think it's more of a thing. Like when you're speaking to someone or something like that, like especially like that. I'm in his office. I'm in his kind of realm. Take your hat off. Like my hair's a fucking state because I've been wearing a hat most of the day because I've been running around fucking everywhere. Real joyous day. Saw like 3 clients, did a few calls, messaged a bunch of people, went to the dentist. Fucking sucks. I'm gonna have my 2nd ever filling. Just sad. I know.
I'm just gonna Google now. Why is it deemed good manners to take a hat off? Throughout history, hats identified social standing, and removing a hat was a gesture of respect.
Boom. I'm respectful. So that's why I did it.
Traditionally, hats were seen as a sign of status authority. Removing one's hat indoors was a gesture of respect, especially in formal settings. This custom has its roots in chivalry, where knights would remove their helmets in the presence of others as a sign of trust and respect.
So that's where I don't know whether you've ever noticed, Daniel, at the end of when we play golf and we shake hands, I take my hat off.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. It's not as much of a big thing anymore as it used to be.
It's a thing over here, mate. It'll be a thing over here. I'll be like, how dare you? And just throw something at you.
Yeah. I'm now going to purposely leave it on when I shake you.
You're going to turn it backwards and just be like, bro. You don't
I think it's one of those things where I just like to question these things and go, it dates back to medieval times. Why do we still do it? Why is it now still deemed a thing of respect? Like, part of me was always a bit like, wearing hats when it's not sunny is a bit weird. But I'm like, no, but I understand it's a bit more fashion. It's like saying why wear a long sleeved thing if it's not raining. It's like, well, because you want to, because you're a bit cold. It's the same with the hats. It's like, because you want to wear one. What's wrong with wearing one? Do you know what I mean?
Always in the rain, a long sleeve thing.
You know what I mean? Like
coat, shirt, t-shirt.
No, but I don't even mean a coat. I mean almost like a jumper. It's like if I was wearing a jumper and everyone else was wearing t-shirts, it wouldn't be like I would need to take that off. I was
just staggered that the one of those words that just left your brain for you couldn't think of one. So
all right, mate, it's 20 to 10 at night, and I've had a full day coaching, so that's why. But yeah,
coaching,
yeah,
quotes there, mate.
I just find those things funny. I always like to question it. Well, why? Like, why do we do that? And as a bald man, I actually find it quite rude that you take your hat off to show your hair to me because it's actually it reminds me of what I haven't got. So I prefer to leave it on.
Right. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, rubbing it in. That's the real reason why I don't like it. But yeah.
Could you imagine? Fucking keep that out, you prick. Oh, nobody has hair here. You're fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's fun. Anybody? Yeah, I'm traveling to Honduras on Thursday. So when you're listening to this, you won't be able to stalk me in London. You got to make your trip to Honduras, but you need a visa.
Lucky.
So unlucky. Sucks to be you.
And you got to wait, and you won't be meeting the ambassador to get your visa. So
No,
good
exactly.
luck with that.
Like, fortunately, I know someone that knows his wife, so we pulled that card to get
Yeah,
there.
good card to
So,
pull that. I like
thank
it.
you. That's a good card. It's like, oh no, my wife's asked me to do it. I probably should just do it. Yeah. So yeah, which is fun, and I'll be generating some business for him at the end of the year. So probably good, isn't it?
Yeah,
So he's
probably
probably
good.
going to probably get some cash for that. So
Mm.
and they'll be all right. So yeah, we're all good then. We've had a hectic day. We've had a hectic few days, to be honest. I'm better, thank you for asking. And but we've been wedding. So Dan has anybody. We might as well use the pod. I liked the fact we'll talk about it in a little bit because obviously I actually posted that I am engaged and getting married on Sunday, I think.
You are.
Um, Yes, I am. Yeah. But obviously, I mentioned it on the pod like fucking 2 months ago, nearly. Um, so it was quite interesting to see. Like, there were some people who like commented, and I was like, I know you know because I know you listen to the pod. Like, it's very very sweet,
Mm.
but it was just quite interesting to put through that. But Dan has officially gone into best man mode. I put a group of 14, 15, 16 boys in a group and left. And
Good.
then it sounds like nightmarish already. So that's fun. Not in terms of like none of my friends are lads. Like that's quite a good thing. I guess. Apart from you, Dan, you're the most laddie one. Oh,
There's a
fucking.
lot. Um, it's not nightmarish. It's just I'm learning on the job. I've never done it before, never gone
No.
through this process before. Whenever there's ever organizing of things, I wouldn't be the person to organize it. I'm just not. It's just
Would
not
you
my
not?
nature.
Like in terms of like itinerary for like a holiday or stuff like that?
It's one of the things that I despise the most out of these things. Like I said, me like we're going away to well, Isabel won't listen to this. She doesn't know. We're going to safari. She won't listen. Surprising Isabel in safari in South Africa, and already it stressed me out that I've got to get a flight in an airport to the airport, and then I've got to stay over the night in the airport to get a connecting flight to then get picked up once we're there. It's already stressing me out that all that stuff's got to be organized and certain times and all this. And like, what happens if we get the connecting flight and it's delayed by a couple of hours? You need to give yourself a little bit of a gap, a buffer if that happens, and all this jazz, right? And it's just yeah, I'm just not always a huge fan of it. I don't mind organizing things, but there's a lot of moving parts to this. And like I said, like I've already made a mistake from the get-go on certain bits that I'll rectify. Don't worry, I'll fix it. I'll rectify it. We'll sort it out. And I've just learned my lesson, so it's fine.
It's
That's
fine.
all it's about. It's about growing. It's about learning. My only concern is that this is the only time I'm ever going to be asked to do this, and I need to get it right. Do you know what I mean? So. I mean,
It's all
basically,
right.
Tom, as we both know, all I need to do is organize a hell of a good golf weekend and everyone's happy. The most important people are happy, and that's me and you. So that's fine.
Correct. If
What I
I'm
need
honest, like it's just we haven't done an away day like golf trip for a while, so it's
to do.
like
Yeah.
fucking, I'd just do that, mate. Like if none of if all else fails, I know a few like I know obviously my best friends will definitely want to come, no matter if they want to play golf or not. Josh and Annie, and then like just golf weekend and just have a chill out time. That's literally. I'm not like I don't want to get fucking tied to a lamppost. I don't want to go to fucking Hungary
Well,
or Budapest or anything like
I mean,
that. I'm
some of these
like,
things are going to happen anyway, Tom. I mean, it's
it's just like my friends aren't like that. It's weird. Not weird. I think it's who you associate with, isn't it? So I don't
yeah, but I also think that there's also certain traditions. If we talk about taking your hat off, in front of going into rooms and stuff, there's also
know.
certain traditions we need to follow on a stag do, Tom, that need to
Correct.
be followed to some degree.
Chloe's already said no strip clubs, all that kind of the normal things.
Oh
So
no, no, we're not that.
I was
No,
like,
we're
we're not
not
that
that
crew.
low. We're not that low, man.
Also,
I'm talking more
like
about getting dressed up as a woman. That's more what I'm talking about.
one of my best
But
friends, Josh, is gay as well. So he's going to feel left out if we're doing it. So
that's all right. We can get a male stripper as well. It's
he can
fine.
get
It's
a male
no
stripper.
problem.
It's fine. He'll be like, oh, great.
No, no. Look,
Can I join?
we wouldn't stoop that low, Tom. It's more what we're gonna get you to do that you should be worried about, not things
True.
things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I think there needs to be the rule about whether I don't even know cameras allowed is the route to go. Maybe just everyone that's there just enjoys themselves. That's fun. But yeah, there'll be some fun things.
I probably need to give you my dad's number as well separately. I didn't put him in that group, but obviously my dad will be coming to one thing.
Oh
Big old
yeah,
man.
but yeah, I'm gonna sort once we sort that, mate. Give me a chance, all right? I'm taking
All
it step
right.
by step. And tell you what though, ChatGPT is very useful for is this sort of stuff. You know, if you've not done
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
before and you go, what's the best way of organizing a party with 15 plus people in? And it goes through it and goes, right,
Yep.
first thing, work out the dates people are free. I was like, oh, wicked. I was like, right, now I
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm doing. And that's probably what I would have done. But there were certain gaps in there that I wouldn't have done in that order. And it was like, you need to think about this. I was like,
Yeah.
perfect. Because yeah, like you said, it's that now. It's like, okay, do the weekend. Because I know that your dad wants to come. So it's like, okay, well, I need to know the plan for the weekend first before we know what the day before is going to
The
be in
day
terms of
before, correct.
the meal or the whatever we do, if even if it's just a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Because
like
I did
very useful
exactly
for
the
that.
same when we started like wedding planning.
Mm,
Exactly the same. I said, we have 10 months to plan a wedding.
yeah.
Fill out every single month what is the most important things, categorize them, blah, 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 blah. And it was like,
Mm.
Chloe had never used ChatGPT basically. And she was like,
Oh, really?
what? And I was like, yeah, look, there you go. We've got a timeline of what we need to do. We're in a lucky position that we can afford to hire wedding planners to do it for us. But
Mm.
we also kind of have it on the ball as well. So so very, very fun. Wedding venue pretty much there. So that's exciting. Dan has
Mm.
like in the weirdest way. I was like, because Chloe was sending pictures and stuff like that of like the places we were visiting, or this to like all of her friends, and she was like, "What? You're sending them to Dan?" I was like, "You fucking send it to your friends." I was like, "Can't I be like girly and send it to Dan?"
Yeah.
He's going to be part of this fucking thing as well. He's going to be staying in the same house, like hotel as us. Like so, yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, I like
Um,
your choice, mate, to be fair. I think it's lovely.
I think it would be nice.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
it's fucking impressive, is what it is. What's the
Thank
name?
you. Who
Um,
knew that we could get Munden Town Hall or Village Hall at such
I'm
close
surprised,
together?
mate. I honestly am surprised.
Yeah.
And the most important thing for me was more so that they've already given you the food choices, which were obviously, as we know, they were like ham sandwiches, but like, you know, the white bread with like the one
That's the
slice of ham in the
classic.
middle.
Yeah.
That was that. And then there was just plain cheese. And they were the two
Yeah.
options. And I just thought, oh, that's so good. Catering for
Meat and veg.
vegetarians. And
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
do you know, like, these people, they know what they're doing. Done this before, you
Absolutely
know?
fine. Absolutely beautiful. So that'll be so we'll have some nutty person do all of the
Oh, and the
ceremony.
cheese and
Uh,
pineapple on a stick. That'll be the other thing as well, because it's a wedding after all. You know, and you need to have the
and
exotic stuff.
there'll be a lot of Hondurans there, so they've got the exotic taken care of, isn't it? Really,
Exactly.
like so
That's what they look at.
that's what all of them eat. Make it feel
Yeah.
like home for them. So
Yeah.
that'd be good.
You didn't confirm it 100%. What was that weekend? What was the weekend again? He just says
You
with his calendar in front of
just
him.
tell everybody on the podcast. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no. You don't have to tell. No. You can just text it to me.
I don't
Text it to
think
me.
most people will come, but because they won't know where it is.
Well, exactly. They don't know where it is.
The 11th of October.
That was the one. Yeah, I knew
That
it was.
is the most likely weekend.
11th
If
October.
everything is falling into
Might rain.
place.
Might
Well,
rain.
fucking
Hope
probably
not.
will, but
Hope not.
couldn't give a shit.
Hope not.
We're not outside, so the
No.
venue fortunately is big enough not to have a marquee. So
Big enough.
we're some would say it's big enough, yeah. So we'll be all right.
It is
We'll be all right.
Buckingham Palace. It's big enough, isn't it? It's big enough.
That's we
Big
could do
enough.
it. We could do it there. Did you,
Surprised it's not the Honduran ambassador's house where you know him. Flipping out.
mate?
Get on about
That'd be smaller than my fucking flat, mate. So yeah,
it.
no.
Yeah, imagine just a flat in Croydon
It's
somewhere.
like,
Just
there we
like,
go. There it is. Oh, like judging by the embassy's not fantastic.
it's
Yeah.
not quite the
So
US embassy.
to be fair, look, no, I've been there. That was fucking
Yeah.
insane. Like, be a little bit more intimidating the US embassy than the Honduran one. I'm gonna be honest. But the room that they make you wait in is fucking awful. But his office, lovely, really lovely.
Yeah, there's always a way.
I was
Funny
like,
that. Funny that, isn't it?
This
Yeah.
is
Where's
worse
all the
than like,
funding gone for the
I was
embassy? And
like,
you look in his room.
what the hell? This is the only one with carpets. What the fuck? So it was quite interesting. But bless him. Right. Well, he can do what he likes, isn't it? It's his MC. So lovely,
He
lovely job.
can. He can. Yeah.
Very pleasant man. But yeah, so we viewed a bunch of places. Everybody who's obviously in. We'll talk about fitness in a bit. And yeah, we were in around. I don't know the Cotswoldy, Oxfordy area, etc. Very interesting. You know what, Daniel? If you want a stunning tour by someone who is in the know and can take you behind the ropes, free coffee, free cake, all on their stuff,
Mm.
tell them you're thinking about booking a wedding at a place. They take you behind closed doors. They take you where people are not allowed to go. They offer you free
Like it.
stuff, and yeah, or you just got to talk wedding a little bit, and you're all good. Literally, so nice. Like just getting a free tour essentially of all the places you could do stuff, and yeah, nice,
Like it.
very nice, very nice. So I got a lot of free coffee. Chloe was like, why are you in this for the free coffee? I was like, well, I got to make our money back somehow. So
True.
get like start loading up on cake. Fucking hell. They're
Go
offering us
for it, mate.
brownies. Fucking take it. Yeah, Jesus. I'm gonna have the most expensive coffee as well I could possibly have. So yeah, just
Brilliant,
interesting. I
mate.
overheard in Starbucks today. I was waiting in there, and one lad asked for an iced coffee without the ice. He was like, "Can I have an iced
Oh,
coffee, but no ice, please?"
might be
I
a
was like,
coffee then.
I was like, what?
Does he mean like cold but no ice in it?
Yeah, like
Coffee.
Chloe asks for her coffee order. I'm always so embarrassed when I have to do stuff for like when she's like, this. So she asks sometimes a chai tea latte with no water. What?
Mm.
Like, that's just the powder in it. It's fine. Because apparently they water it down. I was
I was
like,
about to say to make it weaker, yeah.
yeah, to make it weaker. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah, she asked for ice lattes with light ice. So it's like just a little bit of ice, not too much.
Do you
So
know what
she
that
gets
says
some.
to me though? It says to me that you drink too many takeaway coffees, and when you ask for that, it's like you've had too many of them.
Yeah,
Like, because I go in and just go flat white, and they go, "Yep,
I
okay,
just ask for
here you go,"
extra hot because I like my coffee just scalding. That's it.
just to ruin your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want taste buds. Uh, just
Mm.
unnecessary. Just to put food down my gullet with no temperature kind of gauge. So it's fine.
Brilliant. Lovely.
Just systematic eating. That's all I'm down for, mate. So that's all we need. All about
Mm.
systems, making time efficient. Time is money, Dan, isn't it? You should know that. You've been in calls all day, making that chain.
Time is
So
money when it should be asleep as well. To be fair, that's the thing for me. You know
that's
what I mean?
fair.
Look at this.
So we have a couple of things we could talk about, mate. We've got me laughing at, but more kind of lateral thinking from trainers because I told you a story about physio, some physios, and it's just quite interesting. See if we can discuss about trainers maybe thinking outside the box and learning stuff for themselves. Never know, or
Maybe.
just asking for help every now and again from the people who may know and be able to. That's the one thing that we obviously kind of say with like in terms of prices or whatever our results and stuff like we get results. You can see it all over our fucking pages, but
Mm.
we will, and it's like, all right, it's that whole kind of thing, like when someone's fixing like an airplane, and it's like, you charged me how much? You spent 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, but I fucking know where to like put the hammer. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you're paying for. I'm able to make that decision and make the correct one very quickly rather than be bullshitting and like go for that way. So we can talk about that a little bit.
Mm.
The waste of time. I think I did I mention that? I was like about the Honduran embassy thing, didn't I? I was like, I'd rather pay for the entries of like, so I didn't have to waste my time and come back. I paid more for not having
Mm.
to come back there and doing this ritual every single time because I
Yes, you
value
did. Yeah.
time rather than that. Yeah, they're really annoying. Um, I want to talk about I have embarked on my new YouTubes. One hit home for me. Shockingly, your business partner in terms of like I was like, yeah, I will fucking commit to doing that because I enjoy making those. Just the admin of editing in it. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
I enjoy the editing, but then I don't. It takes a while. Like each of these YouTubes that are about 50, they're a 15-minute long YouTube video. Um, but the editing takes about 2 to 2.5 hours.
Mhm.
Pretty sure around there. But it just takes a while because I want it to look half decent, right?
It's
It's not
it's
fucking
usually
slap it up
10
there.
minutes. It's usually 10 minutes of editing for 1 minute of video.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Bosh.
Mm,
And obviously I get slicker at it because I've done enough fucking editing to know. But that's another
mm,
one we can talk about learning by doing. But I want to talk about is your stuff of me content because it was very apparent on the weekend for me and how it drived home, right? Because I did joke, obviously, I jokingly said when I'll post about me getting engaged to Chloe when interaction's
mm,
low, and I was just very curious about obviously like there's a kind of almost a formula that you guys like to use in terms of like Instagram content to kind of get I don't know people feel the feels or whatever. But if you want to drive that home any more in terms of the results of I haven't been very good on interactions lately because I fucking have
mm,
a shit ton of stuff happening in my personal life. But one single post of me getting engaged to Chloe, which is probably the biggest that and having a kid is probably the biggest me content going that you could have, right?
mm,
And within what, like an hour, like 200 people liking it, about 30 comments, whatever, and over 300 like after a day. It's yeah, that's what happens. Whereas maybe my normal content certainly doesn't fucking reach that. It reaches the same amount of people, but not enough people like it or feel the need to comment on it or do
mm,
anything with because obviously I'm directing it in certain ways or whatever. But if that doesn't hit home in terms of what me content and showing your personal life, if you want to build stuff online and seeing how many people are actually kind of close to you and have that kind of relationship of they'll talk to you, even whether a DM or leave a comment or even just like it or blah blah blah, then that like shows, I think, in terms of your me content more than anything else. You can talk about this better than me. Right?
Well, first point I want to make is my comment didn't post on it. I've just
You
realized now
didn't
I'm
even
reading
fucking
about the
comment on it,
comments.
mate.
I'm
Like...
reading about my comments. It didn't even fucking. It didn't even load. I'm just gonna. I'm reposting it now. Um, yeah, because you messaged me in the week as well. Like, oh, you didn't message Chloe, and I was like, I messaged Chloe literally the day I found out. I was like, literally. I was like, in fact, she still hasn't messaged me back. I don't think my phone works like to send her messages.
Weird,
I
no?
sent her
Because
one
yeah,
yesterday.
I
Didn't get anything through.
screenshotted what you sent to her, and she was like, "That's so weird. I haven't got anything." Uh,
I sent her another four look and a screenshot and still had nothing back. And I'm like,
that's
pretty sure
so
she's
weird.
used the phone in the last day. So I was like, yeah, I need to figure out. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Uh,
I mean, yeah, I mean, apart from the fact you've just given away our amazing secrets, Tom.
sorry,
In
mate.
terms
Sorry.
of the no, I'm joking, no, I'm joking, I'm joking. We did a YouTube video about it, like I think
Yeah,
last
I
week
know. I
or
was about
something.
to say it.
So yeah, like you, me, and them content essentially is just like in essence is it's spreading your message, but through the medium of having three different viewpoints of it. So it's hard when you say you and me, it's kind of can be confusing when you're talking to someone about it. So imagine it's just myself talking about
Yeah.
this, right? So me content is stuff that's me and mine. Stuff that's you content is about you, the watcher, the viewer, the listener. It's about you, and then them content is about my clients. It's about them, and it's about everything that they do. So it's remembering that every time you post something or you share a message, you want to have quite a decent ratio of those three things. That all the people that we find that do very, very well do a mixture of all those types. You can't just post about your clients because then there's nothing about the person who views it. You can't just post about the viewer because there's no results. There's nothing about you as a person. You can't just post about you because then there's no tangible kind of like authority in terms of the results you get from the people, right? And the bit that most coaches struggle with the most is the me content. It's the bit that they struggle posting about what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, what I'm up to, whatever it might be. And I think that's the struggle that people have is like, well, what do I post about me? What do I say? And as you've seen there with what you've posted, is like people do give a shit about other human beings and about what they're
Yeah.
going through and what they do. They actually care about them and what goes on in their life. And there'll be some people there that commented that maybe you look at and think, oh, I didn't really know they're watching my stuff, didn't really know they see my stuff, didn't really know that they were still there. And obviously, no, it's not going to make someone sign up with you, but there's an element to it where it makes someone look at what you're doing and go, well, I now feel like I know more about this person. So let's say if I know nothing about Tom, like and assume I absolutely know zero, and then I find out that there's a video of him proposing to his future wife to be in what is quite a romantic setting. Where is that in London? Because I've seen a few people
Uh,
like take pictures there before with the other options. But
yeah.
anyway,
So me and Chloe have taken a picture there, and every single year for about 5 years. That is Kew
Yeah,
Gardens,
maybe
but
that's where I've seen it. Kew Gardens, right? And
Christmas
and
at
it
Kew. Yeah.
it kind of tells me a little bit about Tom and the fact maybe he's a bit romantic, he's a bit soft, he's a bit, all those things, because it's what he's shared is that he's an important moment in his life that he's taking a photo of, right? He cares, he's sensitive, he's emotional, whatever it might be. I'm not saying in those words anything bad, by the way. Don't take it that way. I'm just mean like in general, someone might look at that and go, maybe he's a bit more. As a coach, you might assume from that one piece of content that he maybe is slightly more caring as a coach rather than a drill sergeant, rather than just a fucking shouting and screaming at someone. He may just come across that way. Again, we don't know, but when you put all these things together, you're making assumptions about people when you start to see bits and bobs of their life. So I had a similar thing where I posted one of mine, and I posted a picture of Isabel. We were back in the UK, and I was cuddling Isabel and she was sat on a chair,
Yeah.
and it was the time when Mike had just upgraded his car to get a Ferrari. And one of my clients has said in a video update, "Oh, where's your Ferrari?" kind of thing. And I joked and I was like, "Oh, she's upstairs. She costs 100 grand and fucking still doesn't do what I tell her to do, or something like that." And
Yeah.
he laughed and he was like, "You should share that." He's like, "It was quite funny, but also quite real and stuff like this." And it was just a case of going, well, for me right now, like I'd love one of those cars, but my priority at the moment is more thinking of that and thinking of these other things. And it's just like I can't justify paying that money on a car yet. Doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong. Doesn't mean that Mike's right or wrong having a car. But it was just a heartfelt message to say this is for the people out there who are parents, basically, and it just shows you as a parent why you might want to try and build your business, why you might want to try and grow your business, because you're doing it maybe for your family and for their future and all those sorts of things. Um, so yeah, that's the main thing about it is it shows you in a different light, and often in a light that people, I believe, need to connect with you in. They need to connect with you on that level, on a personal level of what you're about and what you're doing. Um, they know you're an authority. They know that you know your stuff when it comes to training nutrition. They want to see if they like you as a human being. Because I go, well, if I'm going to pay this guy money and work with them, I want to know that I like the person.
Yeah.
Um, and those sorts of things allow you to kind of do that. And I think that too many coaches shy away from it. Um, Too many coaches shy away from it. And they don't put it out there for fear of, well, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. People aren't interested in that. They're not following me for that. And I'm like, no, that's the exact reason people have followed you is they want an insight into your life and who you are. So your me content is, I think, massively underrated and a huge part of people buying into you as a human being, as a person. And to establish that relationship, that coaching relationship, you have to know who these people are
Because yeah,
to kind of
because
do
if you,
that.
if I think there's probably people like as much as we hate kind of like the influencers of sorts who show like come train with me and they show their kind of meat and their content and stuff like that. We know they're probably fucking awful coaches, and the fact is they have no results, so they don't speak any authority figures or anything. They have no results, so there's no them content, and they don't have any authority because they don't tend to like kind of challenge anything that they're doing or give
Yeah,
an opinion. It is all about just me, right? That's not what that's like kind of the influencer angle, which I guess some coaches do too much of, essentially. And then there's the
yeah,
flip side of that. I think there's a lot of coaches who just do all of the not the them content, the kind of you content, and they don't sharing opinions, they're just sharing fucking like shit, right? Do these
yeah.
exercises. All right. Why? I
Mm.
don't know. It was okay. Do these are my best free tips. Have you ever are you a 30-year-old man who's doing
Yeah,
this? Blah, blah, blah. I hate that content so much. Hate it so much. Have you ever been stuck for these ideas and hurt your knees?
yeah.
This is what I want you to do. Fuck off. No, I'm not on social media for that. But you know who is on social media for that? Because I had a conversation with one of my clients who's mid 50s currently, and we were talking about YouTube because we talk about YouTube golf quite a lot. Okay. But he goes to YouTube for
Hmm.
information. He would
Hmm.
only go on YouTube to look up if he needed a different bolt, how to do my screwdriver, blah, 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 how to cut my
Yeah,
hedge. The only
yeah,
reason why he goes to YouTube. And I'm
yeah,
explaining to him like why YouTube golf is so big because of the personalities. And I was like, I like Grant Horvat. I think he's a good like commentator. I think he's really down to earth, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a big fan of Rich Shields. I think he's a bit meh, all over the place. But more people are watching that content than your kind of infotainment kind of thing. I was like, we're going to YouTube for that. The same is happening with Instagram, like in terms of what your short form content as well. It's like we still need that kind of stuff there. It's not just fucking information. Like it's an opinionated information would be better than just here's this.
And honestly, I think that like the crazy thing is it's the one piece style of content that coaches find the hardest to kind of put out there and make. But it's the one that if I was to pick one of those that you could only post for the rest of your life to try and gain clients, it would be that one.
Yeah.
Like it would be what you're doing. It'd be your training, your food, what you're up to, how you're doing things, why you're doing that, what your life looks like. Because
Yeah.
that's the stuff that people go, well, this guy's living a life that I want, so I'm going to work with him. I want to see how he does it. Because that's what, like you said, all the influencers do. All the influencers, all they do is just post what they're wearing, what they're doing, what their makeup they've got on, what fucking food they eat in a day, how
Mhm.
they train in, and they're getting clients. And whereas coaches think, again, like you said, people don't want to be on Instagram to be lectured at. Like you said,
Yeah.
go on YouTube. And it come back to it all the time with YouTube. And it's why coaches need to be on YouTube if they've got some sort of half decent client base and they're looking to grow and looking to create a long-term brand, is that YouTube is the place to share that information and stuff because you have more time, you have more context you can share. A lot more people are going to give you a minute of their time to figure out if they like your video or not, rather than take 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's just the area that in 5 years, all the most successful coaches will have a YouTube presence, in my opinion, because as you said, it's a place where people go to and they type in how to, bam, bam, bam,
Yeah.
how to, how to deadlift on one leg, how to deadlift with only one arm, how to, you go, you find it, you'd find it. Whereas where do you look on Instagram for that? You don't. It's all short form. It's
Yeah.
all like, yesterday's news a little bit. And the only videos that go far are the short form, virally meme based stuff that gets shared amongst peers and friends. Whereas YouTube,
Or
the best ones
or
go
the
on
or
search.
the German train
I
marble
mean, that was
thing.
the crazy shit.
Because I said
Yeah,
it, I've been hit by that one so many
I bet.
times like now by like the same. They've got like, I'm here, I'm betting on this German fucking game show.
But
How much do I want to play that game?
the
So
other thing
much.
that we talk about with YouTube, and the reason that I think a lot of coaches need to start getting to grips with YouTube a little bit is this point that it is the most used social media platform, if you can call it that. It's not
Yeah,
really social media, it's a search engine now. It's the most used search engine in the world. Like, but let's use a social media channel: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that. YouTube by a million miles is the most used, most
yeah,
consumed in both in frequency and volume. So how often people use it, and then also the amount of time they spend on it. It is also the place where the least amount of online coaches are posting content.
yeah, literally.
So just based on those two things alone,
Because it's too
you
much
should be on it.
work.
Correct. Because
Yeah.
there's an authority with YouTube where if you're on YouTube posting videos, I know as a consumer, you must be more serious than the guys that just post TikToks because it's what more serious brands and companies and people do because it takes more time, more effort, and you position yourself as this authority. And
So probably in terms of the fitness world, so because I've just been like, obviously I posted stuff on YouTube previously, and it certainly holds lots of videos, but I've dipped because there's certain stuff, and I was like, I need to do this because there's a case of I do like summary videos of like technical form and stuff like that. That's fine. So I was like, but I don't like reaction videos, but I like reaction videos based off certain things to. I don't know, say why something's so good and whether somebody can get some kind of value out of it. Okay.
mm,
So shockingly, Dan, I went and did my research and looked at the stuff that I like. I like looking at for reaction videos. So there's certain stuff that I like. So I quite like reaction videos to music. I have a few of those people that I follow and watch. So I was like, I'm gonna make notes. What do they do? How they like structure things? I asked ChatGPT to structure a reaction video for me. Blah 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 blah. What I should do in that bit. What should be good. And then there's also probably within the fitness realm. Obviously, I'm gonna release my first one on like Friday, I think this week. Mainly because I'm flying. It'll be content that day.
mm,
And then shockingly, I'll be able to chop it up and use as like content because that's exactly probably the person who absolutely has fucking nailed this part of like reaction and talking about it because he's a very intelligent guy and he's like pushed it is fucking Mike Israel.
mm,
If you like him or loathe him, like he's smashed, he's getting way more than fucking Rick Shields in terms of like views and stuff
mm,
like that. Like he's getting millions of views. And he only started his channel. Obviously, he had more of a platform or whatever, but he started his channel in COVID because he was like,
mm,
"Fuck, I need to pivot. I need to do something." So RP, Renaissance Periodization, and his the quality of the content is really good. But he does something really simply of just reaction stuff because obviously he's an authority figure. He's whatever, blah blah blah. He's been on. yeah, Stephen Bartlett. I think he's just been on the high performance podcast, stuff like that. So he's making the realms. Even like my buddy,
Mm.
like Nathan, who's a doctor of sports physiology. He was like, "Do you know this Mike Israetel guy?" Speaking of some, I was like, "Yeah, I've known him for fucking
Mm.
10 years." Um, so it's super interesting. But I would, yeah, go. It's like what we say, like when we go and research stuff that you like. If you like somebody's content, save it. Go watch it. Make some notes on it. See what happens. So I spent like 2 hours just making notes before I filmed my first one, um, which will be
Yeah,
out
we just
Friday.
well for
Oh,
I was
just
gonna say
I'm
for
just
you or for
just I'm
anyone who wants to
just
be in the members group,
nah,
they can go and see our video from Monday we did with Harry where he talked about vlogging and he talked
yeah,
about this stuff of like the effort going into it, the planning and just like how like you just said there about good videos you like to watch is really and when we say make notes, like I mean literally pause it, write down what happened, pause it, because you'll realize just how good these videos are with the amount of camera changes, the amount of view changes. They do close-ups, far away shots. They do
yeah,
all these shots where they're called establishing shots of the room you're in, what it looks like, wide angle, you're sitting down. There's so much that goes into a very, very good video that you wouldn't see just by watching it. Because when you watch it, the whole point of it is that you don't realize it's happening. That's how good it is. But that's
yeah,
why you keep watching it. Whereas if it was just on the same view for the whole 10 minutes, you'd not get bored, but you'd turn off quite quickly because the human brain doesn't work like that. You need to see where you're at. We need to see B-roll. We need to see all these things. And it's one of the big things about the call was again, it's planning it out. So a lot of people with YouTube just go, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to film. It's like, well, we'll plan it out first. And once you plan it out, like no one would like Spielberg wouldn't film a 2 hour fucking film, would he? Making up as he goes along. Tell you what, we should probably not do that. No, it's fucking planned out a long time in advance, right? And I
yeah,
think it's the same with YouTube. You need to think about what you're trying to say and do with it, but then also how you're going to film it, what angle you need, what shot that's going to look like, because that's what all those amazing YouTubers do all the time.
correct.
Mm.
Madness. Very
Plan it.
fun.
Who knew? Planning
Mm,
stuff worked. Who knew?
and stuff. So I'm doing a series on athletes because there's a lot of like athletes that get shared, like their training gets shared. So I thought I'd be able to shed a little light on
Train there like this to hit like
what
Roy
they're
McIlroy.
training
You
like.
won't. You won't. Don't.
Yeah, you
I
do
love
it.
them
It's
ones.
fine. So yeah, I've recorded two, edited two, and they're up there. So I'm gonna be because I just asked my clients, shockingly, they were like, "What training would you like to like, kind of hear
Mm.
about?" Let's because you're my ideal clients. What would you like to fucking hear about? So they wanted some athletics stuff. So picked. Well, we've got Keely Hodgkinson. Found some videos of her training.
Oh. She
Femke
800
Bol.
meters or 1500 meters.
Keely Hodgkins, 800-meter champion, well,
800.
Olympic
Mm.
champion.
Yeah.
And then Femke Bol, like, does some fucking crazy shit. She's a fucking freak. Weirdly, it's all the females that share their stuff. Like, I found one of Sydney McLaughlin as well. She's a 400-meter girl. They're
Mm.
all fucking insane and so fucking cool. But it's a lot of stuff that maybe personal trainers don't really know because the level of education to kind of do the stuff that they're doing, you don't get it. But
Off
you have my opinion on it, unfortunately.
off on a tangent, a little bit of a tangent.
Mhm.
But down at the golf academy the other day, I was went at the weekend, and there was an LPGA tour player like playing like next to me. We're doing like wedges onto this green.
Mm.
My fucking god, how good they are! Like
I bet, like, yeah,
honestly, like these wedges were just going. She was like stopping it dead 3 foot, and we were like 70 yards away, and I'm there fucking spraying all over the place, no way to hit middle of the green, all this sort of thing. She was really nice to be fair, but you could tell like from doing it, you just see them, and it's just like the level of quality, mate, like is just unbelievable. Like when I know we've talked about a bit about female sports and like, certainly in those distances there, you're kind of looking at, they're really competitive and impressive. And with golf, like obviously the thing is that they can't maybe hit the ball as far, but this was just pure accuracy, and you're just like they go
yeah,
head to head with people like that because I think the touch and the requirement involved. But the technique, the quality of the technique, oh my God. I was just sat there. I must have looked like I was fucking staring at her. But like but not in
yeah,
a way of like she was good looking, but in a way of like, oh my God, like just every time just clip this ball to within about 3 to 5 feet from every. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. So it's like seeing it, like you said, seeing their training. Sometimes you go, oh my God, they're
yeah.
ridiculous. Like
And
the
you're like,
level of
that's
training.
it's like their level of training and like just how it's filmed or whatever. And you're just like, yeah,
Yeah,
fucking yeah. These
yeah.
fucking I don't know keyboard warriors that are like, oh no, I'm like, are you joking? The amount of stuff that goes into that stuff, especially when that's why I wanted to highlight some of those girls as well. 'Cause the runners that was
Well, the
interesting
athletics
because
because they're at the peak, right? As well, the athletics is
they
peak
peak for
performance, isn't
that.
it?
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
just looking at the lifts they're doing fucking power cleans. They're doing like some of these
Mm.
jumps. They're doing these crazy fucking like
Mm.
moves, but they're also doing lots of Billy Basic stuff. Like Keely Hodgkinson doing weighted pull-ups. She's not too good for it. Just because she's a runner
Yeah.
doesn't mean she doesn't have to do pull-ups. Like, yeah, fucking
Yeah.
hell. She's doing like hang cleans. Cool. She's doing like box squats. Absolutely cool. Like this kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, yeah. But there was the
Mm.
Femke Bowles one was where there was a lot more in the video, which was cool. But yeah, obviously go fucking watch it. I think I'm gonna just release it on Fridays. I think because obviously I released this one on Wednesdays. I don't know. If anybody they're not gonna stomach watching you. Fuck, you know.
Fridays, eh?
Yeah. I don't know. Never know. I'm gonna compete with Rick Shields, and I so got to do it Fridays at 4.
It's not hard, mate.
I actually, have you noticed his views have dropped big time?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a lot. Like even like a 10 shot challenge with John Rahm should be getting a million views.
And the
400.
rest. Mm.
Like Grant Horvat absolutely smashing it. Like, because he's a nice personality, nice guy. But yeah, fucking hell. Like the amount of people that have just been like, they're either bored of format or they're like, because he's joined Live, all this kind of stuff. So it's quite interesting.
I honestly think a big part of it is obviously going to live, and I think that what they didn't realize with that, a bit of a tangent again, is how old his audience were.
Yeah,
And
I
I think
think
a lot
so.
of the older folks are against Live. I
Mm.
think a lot of the younger people are coming through are interested in Live, but the younger people are watching Grant Horvat. They're watching Four Brothers. They're watching the people that are coming through like that. So I think that's a part of it. I think the other part of it is, unfortunately for him, is he's just not as good as the other people. Like
No,
there was a while ago, he was one of the better golfers, but you're looking at Grant Horvat, GM Golf, they're just
I
miles better. So when you watch them versus
like
a
Luke
pro,
Kwan or the Bryan brothers, and you're just like, all right,
you
I'd
know,
rather watch this because they're better.
I'd rather watch Grant and Bryson do, and that do a scramble, because you
Did
know that
you did
everyone's
you
going to contribute.
did you watch the it was at Bryson, Grant, and GM Golf? They did the break
Yeah,
50 and shot like, did they
because
shoot like 48? That I watched that because I was like, this is
yeah,
fucking
because
sick.
Grant
Like,
didn't like someone. No, Garrett's putting was on fire. Whoever it was, he
yeah,
just
he was
kept going
like,
up first and kept putting it in. And I just feel like with Rick Shields, his problem is he's just not good enough. So it
yeah,
is just it feels a little bit like this random golfer's coming along and they go, oh, it's just about them, and Rick Shields is kind of interviewing them a little bit, and he's playing bad golf. So that's his problem that he's got with it. And like I said, the main one being that the older generation. But Rick Shields versus John Rahm and Brooks Koepka, 660,000 views 3 weeks ago. That should be way higher than
yeah, that
that.
should be way higher, shouldn't it? Fucking hell.
Like, if you think the Rick Shields YouTube golf major 3 months ago got 2.9 million views.
Yeah,
Now, I admit there's a lot more YouTube personalities that are on that, but that's before he, even here, he did like on his hit channel reviews new irons 4 months ago, 600,000 views on a review channel. I
yeah,
just think, yeah, he's massively gone, hasn't he? Massively gone.
yeah.
Maybe he's been found out that he takes mulligans as well. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe everyone found out. Shyster.
Amazing.
Very
Amazing.
interesting.
One last point. I was telling Dan an interesting story. I think it just leads into like, yeah, kind of asking for help or asking, staying in your lane. It was just interesting. So watching some physios that were trying to use some force plates and setting up, and spending ages about like not being able to kind of just move a J hook, and they're trying to do like either a mid fire pull or a kind of a running specific like ISO with your calf and stuff like that. And you have to like push hard into the ground where the force plate is, and it gives you a number, but you have to push the bar against something. And then like trying to push it against basically the size of a fucking can. Which is what the J hooks like look at, basically there. So the hooks that you put the fucking barbells on. I was like, lads, can I offer you just a little piece of advice from people who use this? Like, I'm not gonna come and tell you how to do your stuff in your bed or like your physio room. But please, with the equipment that you're obviously learning how to do, just have you ever done isometric stuff before? Probably yes. And if you've been doing it like this, you're gonna fuck up everybody's barbells, and I'm gonna be annoyed because you don't want the metal on metal with the knurl, and it's like, oh, it feels weird. It's like it's odd. It's just doesn't like it, and those
Yeah.
hooks like fucking go up. It's like, look. the safeties are there for a reason. If you flip them upside down, shockingly, they're really big, they're padded, and you can push against them really fucking hard. So put that up there and then bash. And they go there. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Oh my God, Tom's a genius. He knows all
I'm
these
not a
things. They're
genius.
amazing.
I was just like, I would ask, I would probably be stupid and like do something ridiculous in physiotherapy world. But I think it's a case of like, I don't know, is it a kind of apprehension or scared to ask kind of scenario, or like, or I don't know. Very
No, I think
odd.
it's just like you say, if you use the equipment more, you've probably been in a position where you've asked yourself that question more often. How can I create this? Oh, I know, I'll do that. Like everyone's first instinct might have been to do what they did, but then because you've
Yeah.
done it a few more times, oh, okay,
You're
probably
like,
best to do it
oh,
like
this
that.
bad probably works better. I think it's like that when, for example, like editing video, the people always ask, like, oh, you're cap cutting or doing that. How do you manage to do that? One of your clients asked me how I managed to take the background away or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
using CapCut, no? Like he was like, I can't work out. He sent me one of my own videos. Like, I can't work out how you did this. At least he asked, but at least he had a fucking try
Yeah.
before asking as well. I was
That's
like, oh,
rare.
do this. Correct. Do this for me, please. That's normally the case.
Very
Like,
true.
all right, let's have a little look at that. So yeah, because obviously we've talked about it before. It's like try, especially with like video content and all this kind of like try and work out yourself, and then ask the
Yeah.
person that you want to replicate or know or whatever, instead of like acting like a moron. Yeah, I just found it quite funny.
Maybe that's what they did. Maybe they were trying it before they asked you, Tom.
Maybe
Mhm.
just but it didn't take six of them to keep doing the same thing and then the same
True.
problem.
Very true.
I found it quite funny. Anyway, obviously there's just certain like tricks and stuff that's what we said about it's that whole thing about fixing the plane, right? It's like this person says they build them for like an hour and then they can but it was like, oh, it only took you 5 minutes, but yeah, I knew where to hit my hammer on the plane to make it work. So
Exactly that.
that's why
That's
I'm
it.
billing that's why I'm billing you this much money, because I know which hammer to fucking use, not the moron who didn't know which hammer to use, but will take longer. So, and it's cheaper. That's us in it, Dan. That's why you're so
That's us.
expensive. Like, did you
That's
know to
us.
work with Dan 1-to-1 is 6 grand a month? Like, it's insane.
6,000 a month, like
6 grand a
minimum as
month.
well. That's just for
Like,
the basic package. The advanced
basic
package
package.
doubles to 12.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's
The
crazy,
basic
isn't
package is
it?
just me telling you to send more cold DMs, and the 12
Yeah,
grand
yeah.
package is me saying send 200.
And
Like, yeah,
then if you
that's
if you,
quite
you upgrade to the group and he's like it's just an instructional video on that comes off the Loom website. It's really weird.
yeah,
And then you can send those apparently. So yeah. Is it
easy.
but you get a Loom subscription free with the mentorship,
We'll
no?
give you that for free. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
That costs a lot of money. So that's good.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Correct. All right. We might be back next week. Unsure. I think as far away as possible from down as I can humanly get, almost.
I think you would be quite literally, actually.
Yeah. Which is how I'd like to keep it, to be fair, most of the time. So yeah, for if you what's the other side of the world for you?
I'm literally going to go on it now. I
Yeah.
think literally it's about as far away. No, I think in the United States you'd be a bit further.
Okay.
I mean, it's not much further though, is it, to be fair? But I think I would be flying 13,000 kilometers. Quite a long way.
Quite a lot, isn't it? Quite a lot. So I think I'll be it's either 6 or 7 hours from here. And what are you, 4 hours? So it's a
Mm.
good 10 hours difference, I think. 10 to
Yeah,
11 hours, I think it'll be the difference. So can't get much further.
can't.
That'll be good.
Quite
That'll be fun.
literally.
So I'll be doing it at midday and Dan will be doing midnight pod. Excellent.
You wish.
We won't be doing that.
We-
We might do a morning and an evening one. That's about it. If we can stomach
Yeah.
that, I don't know. And I'll have maracas with me. It's not Mexico, it's Honduras, so that's fine. I'll get a toucan on my toucan thing. Yeah, lovely.
We'll enjoy that. We'll see you anyway next week.
All right, Daniel, you can go to bed, and we might see you next week. We might not, but go watch the YouTubes instead.
So then.